Welcome into Pac-12 Preview. Yes, I am Michael Caratinudo at Diablo00 on Twitter. And again, hit me up there. Fun banter, questions, concerns, all this mess. And I'm going to aim to get to that on Friday. First off, a little bit of a house cleaning. Again, last week, no Pac-12 Preview shows. And yeah, so Monday and Friday actually ended up having doctor's and a dentist appointment. So yes, they were early and was aiming for them not to be early, but nonetheless, that's what happened last week. Should have shouted out on Twitter, but yeah, it was a fast, crazy week, and that's what happened there. So anyway, we a lot happened, to say the least, and obviously softball wrapped up. The Women's College World Series again. Stanford went toe-to-toe with Oklahoma twice in their opening game, and then after they hit the elimination bracket, got to back to actually. Yeah, Stanford lost to Oklahoma in the opening game and then had to come back through the elimination bracket as they had to get back to him again. But on the way, the Pac-12 again had a heck of a battles in the World Series, in the Women's College World Series, to say the least. Washington opened against Utah. Washington beat Utah, and then Utah fell to the elimination bracket. They lost to Oklahoma State. They were 2 and done. Again, not a bad thing, not talking trash. Obviously, Utah had one hell of a season hosting a regional and a super regional as well. So the Utes doing a hell of a job. And then, but for Washington, after they beat Utah, they fell to Florida State. And then they had to go play Stanford. So, yes, the Pac-12, of course, in the World Series gets to knock themselves out of it. And it went late into the game, but Stanford beat Washington. As a quick recap, 1-0. And then Stanford got their rematch with Oklahoma again, and they lost 2-0 the first time. And this time, Stanford got on the board, but they lost 4-2. But the future looking bright, obviously, for the Cardinal when you have Najari Kennedy, the pitcher, the freshman pitcher. As dominant as she was, it's looking very bright for them, and for the Huskies as well, too. A freshman pitcher, just absolutely dominant. And yeah, so, but then Oklahoma took on Florida State in the championship, best out of 3, and the Sooners 53 games in a row they've won, 61-1. They finished the season. Yes, let that settle in. 61-1 for Oklahoma. And man, they rock it. They rocked it, and they have quite a bit coming back. They won 3 in a row. The first team since UCLA did it in the late 80s, early 90s to win 3 in a row. And yes, since 2000, Oklahoma has been a mainstay in the College World Series. And like I said, they won 3 in a row. It's the second time they topped Florida State, which Florida State, man, had a hell of a season. I will give them that. And look, everybody, I say this all the time in every sport, everybody can be a phenomenal armchair coach, manager, whatever. But I did not understand in game one as Jordy Ball, the all-world, all-universe, everything pitcher for Oklahoma, is starting, and Florida State doesn't start their ace pitcher. Like, I don't know. Just don't get it. But that's just me. But yeah, I mean, a hell of a season again, softball wise, by the Pac-12. But again, hats off to Oklahoma, and gonna see if they can keep how long they can keep this 53 game this win streak going. It's at 53, like I said, right now, and finishing the season 61-1. So it very, very interesting to say the least. But baseball, super regionals, summer wrapped up, and summer's still going on. So Wake Forest advanced. They're the overall number 1 seed. Really no surprise there. I think they had 8 or 9 home runs in their game. They beat Alabama. It was 22 to nothing. So, yeah, that's or 22 to 9. Let's see. Can I get that score? $22-5. Sorry, I was close. Wake Forest took game 1 on Saturday, and they won 5-4. It was close. And then, 22-5 yesterday over Bama. So they are headed to the College World Series, as is number 2 seed Florida. They beat South Carolina 2 games, 2-0 in the best of 3. Virginia, they are headed to the College World Series. Actually, the whole bottom half of the bracket is set. Bracket 2, I should say, for the College World Series is set. So Florida is there. Virginia, they beat Duke 2-1. They're headed there. Oral Roberts, they took the Eugene Super Regional, beating Oregon. And Oregon had went to Nashville in regionals and won the Vanderbilt Regional, and they got to host Oral Roberts, who came out of the Stillwater Regional, beating Oklahoma State, Dallas Baptist, and UW. Yes, Washington was there. But Oregon scored 8 runs in the first game in this best of 3 in the bottom of the 9th to come back and win it. They lose the second game, which Oral Roberts was the home team, and they scored in the bottom 9th. And then yesterday, it was 9-8, and Oregon again scored 8 runs in the bottom of the 9th to do that. Then Oregon lost 8-7 in game 2, which was insane. And then Oral Roberts pulled away yesterday after the the 5th inning on. Oral Roberts pulled away, but they won 11-6. So they are headed to the College World Series on that side, as is TCU, who beat Indiana State. And so the bracket 2 is Florida, Virginia, TCU, and Oral Roberts. Bracket 1, like I said, Wake Forest is there, and LSU, who beat Kentucky, 2 SEC rivals who beat Kentucky 2-0. They're in bracket 1 as well, and waiting for the last spots in bracket 1, Stanford and Texas in the Palo Alto Super Regional there. Stanford won the first game 7-5, or Texas won the first game, 7-5. Stanford dominant yesterday. And good luck holding them down 2 days in a row, right? But Stanford won 8-3. And then tonight, they will play at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific, and Mountain Time on ESPN as they take on the Longhorns to see who gets into the College World Series in Omaha, of course, for you casual college baseball fans that don't know. Yes, the College Baseball World Series has been in Omaha for a very long time, and no complaints. So Stanford is looking to get in, as is either Southern Mississippi or Tennessee. They are tied at 1 apiece, and Southern Miss took the first game 5-3. Tennessee responded yesterday, took the game 8-4, and they are on at 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Pacific and Mountain Time on ESPN2 if you guys want to check that out. But yeah, like I said, the Stanford Texas game is on ESPN, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific. So again, obviously a phenomenal game to check out. You've heard me talk about Stanford all season long here on this baseball season long, what they've been able to do, and getting to see them in person in the Pac-12, against ASU and in the Pac-12 tournament. Man, and Texas, again, a very good team too. We'll see. But Stanford's got home field. They're the home team tonight, and they had a win. The crazy thing is they lost as the home team on Saturday. They won as the home team yesterday. So yeah, because it's their super regional. So they will be the home team tonight. So we will see how that goes. So Stanford and Texas, and then Tennessee and Southern Miss will be the last two spots in the College World Series, which will get started Wednesday, I want to say. Or no, it's Monday. Yeah, I want to say it'll get started either Thursday or Friday. Why do I not see that? I apologize. But yeah, that's where we are with baseball. And I mean, when you look at it, it's just one of those things where it's Stanford, the lone remaining Pac-12 team, and they have had one hell of a year for Coach Esker, and it's just a team, like we always say, doesn't really truly rebuild, it just reloads. And I mean, you look at batting. I mean, coming like I mean, you got a guy like Tommy Troy batting 399 on the season. Alberto Rios, 387. And then Eddie Park, 338. I mean, Braden Montgomery, 333. Owen Cobb, 325. Malcolm Moore, 316. Carter Graham, 311. And then you get Drew Bowser at 272. But Timo Becerra has been in and out, 340. Jake Sapien, 301. So you have these guys that just are absolutely raking. And I mean, as a team on the season hitting 318, their opponents that they faced all year hitting 256. So 62 points higher than their opponents all season long. I mean, and you look at the home runs, 116 home runs on the season. Alberto Rios leading the team with 18, and then tied for second, Tommy Troy and Braden Montgomery each have 17, and then Malcolm Moore and Carter Graham have 15 apiece. I mean, it's just, and even Drew Bowser with 13. It's just an overall explosive team. And then when you look at what they can do pitching, I mean, Ryan Bruno, I know, has a 5.18 ERA, their closer, but this is a kid that's hitting upper 90s on the gun. And if it gets to him, teams have, not all season long, in spurts have been able mustered up a hit here or there, and he's given up some runs. But, man, Bruno just, again, 97, 98. I think he hit 99 at ASU, too. That in that weekend series where Stanford had swept it. But you look at that, but I mean, even Quinn Matthews with a 3.60 ERA, 10-4 on the season with the 18 appearances, 10-4 on the season. Has thrown 2 complete games. They said a 3.60 ERA. In 120 innings pitched, he's given up 106 hits, 55 runs, 48 of those earned, 152 Ks, though, to just 39 walks. Has given up 12 home runs on the season, but still, it's, 152 Ks to just 39 walks. It's, whew. And, and I mean, and getting back to Bruno, I mean, he has 9 saves on the season. So, I mean, Stanford, again, you look at what they do for Coach Esker, and it's just a team that can definitely challenge you. And I mean, you think defensively, they don't make a ton of errors. They're getting good pitching, or they haven't made a ton of errors. Again, been very sound. But you go up and down that lineup, and there's really no – I mean, Willie Bloomquist talked about this back in the season when they came to town. There's really no – there's no break in their lineup, which – and, you get to the majors and you're calling some guy a break in the lineup. But, yes, if somebody's slumping, I get it. But I never got that part, especially when you're at the highest level. College baseball, yes, a little different. But at the same time, it is just absolutely huge with what they can throw at you offensively, and then defensively, pitchers know. And you always hear pitchers saying, like, I trust my defense. I know that I keep them in it. They're gonna pick me up. They're gonna pick me up. And like I said, with all those batting averages, I mean, Rios, Troy, they have had just an amazing season. Eddie Park, Braden Montgomery, it is tough to, see them not challenging in the World Series. But again, Texas is a very good team. They have a battle tonight against the Longhorns, and we'll see if they can pull it off, because Texas, again, taking that first game, and Stanford backs against the wall now. Both teams, the proverbial backs against the wall, because whoever loses going home, winner, you are punching your ticket to Omaha. So, yeah, I mean, stoked for Stanford. Again, a little surprised. I mean, like I said, hats off to Oral Roberts. Again, you get to this time of year, it's, pitchers have obviously thrown quite a bit, and it might be on or definitely on a little bit shorter leashes, especially in elimination games. And Oral Roberts came up with the hits and took the Eugene Regional. So they are headed to the College World Series as the champ of the Eugene region or Super Regional. So, but Stanford, one more game tonight, and we shall see what happens with them, and hopefully for Cardinal fan, Pac-12 fan, they can get there. But they have a very, 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 very good chance. I know, going out on a real thin limb there, right? But I'm going to step aside, and then when we get back, we're going to talk a little bit about track and field championships just wrapped up as well, and a shout out to a Pac-12 golfer who, won the team championship, individual championship, and then the next weekend, again, unfortunately not here last Monday, but the next weekend, went out and won a tournament in playoffs. So we'll get to all that. Going to step aside and again, keep it rocking here on Pac-12 preview. But yes, we'll step aside and more championship stuff when we get back. Welcome back to Pac-12 Preview. Pardon me. Sorry about that. Welcome back to Pac-12 Preview. I am Michael Caracinuto. At Diablo00 on Twitter is where you can find me. Again, questions, thoughts, whatever your heart desires. I know, and I'm going to aim Friday, by the way, and I'll mention this again at the end, but I'm going to aim Friday to get John Wilner on, who is very in the know in Pac-12 happenings and all that good stuff, because of all just the mess going on with USC and UCLA going to the Big Ten after next season. And you know, let's talk of Colorado now with Dion there. And I mean, you got to win first. Let's look at it this way, because if you're not winning going into a conference, it's interesting. Now, do I think Dion can turn it around? Yes. We saw what he did with the transfer portal. I mean, pretty much cleaned house when he got there, treating the transfer portal like free agency. And Herm Edwards, you say that all the time. It is college free agency. But yeah, I'm going to aim to have John Wilner on and talk about this, and or Chris Cartman, because the ramifications, I mean, George Kliakov, the new commissioner of, well, I mean, he's been in for a little bit, but the newer commissioner of the Pac-12, I mean, you got to be talking about, you know, you still have to finalize TV deals, which again, it's the beginning middle of June. So getting late for that going forward. But yeah, I mean, the thought of Colorado leaving and now they're, you know, mightier than now. And it's like, cool, man. All right. Well, you won, you know, one game last year and in football. Now, yes, basketball had a solid season. But still, nonetheless, I mean, you're assuming that you're going to be right there. And again, they're not going to be up there with USC this year. Yes. Do they win more than one game? Absolutely. Absolutely. I know, really going out on a thin limb. But going to have John or Chris on just due to the fact talking about that. And I know I've mentioned on this show that, and not even just because of the basketball, Final Four and championship game appearance, but San Diego State would be a phenomenal add to the Pac-12 because you're still hitting that Southern California market. Yes, I know it's not LA, but still you're in the Southern California market. And it's got to be right. And I think George Kliavkoff, the commissioner, who, again, all those years, working in, if you're not familiar with his background, I know that he, it worked for, was it the MGM Properties in Vegas, and ahead of, dealing with the business side of all that. So I want to say it was for the MGM Properties, but needless to say, having the qualifications background, the business sense, understanding partnerships and sponsorships, obviously partnerships and growing, he's got something going there. And yes, you can say that the Pac-12 presidents and athletic directors, again, might be frustrated because I know, again, reports coming out that, allegedly Washington and Oregon were vetted for the Big Ten. And now are ASU, even in Arizona, interested in the Big 12. So Friday, which we'll get to, again, going to aim to have, like I said, John Wilner and or Chris Cartman on if they are able to come on. But yes, look to that because that we will be talking about that, what it means. And again, what either one of them think of my suggestion, which I think would have changed the trajectory of the Pac-12 when they expanded last time, if they would have went after the one team instead of another. And I believed that because money-wise, I think it would have definitely, let's just say, expanded the right way. Not the right way, pardon me, expanded in a very, very big way. Not that it didn't, but expanded in a big way. And you still would have had a rivalry. So we'll see what they think about that. But that is Friday. And same bat time, same bat channel, 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific and Mountain Time. By the way, real quick, little cleaning. The first game of the College World Series will be Friday, June 16th. So we get rolling with the 8 teams on the 16th. And again, the double elimination College World Series. Bracket. So you have bracket 1, which will be Wake Forest, LSU, and then Stanford and/or Texas, and Southern Miss and/or Tennessee. Will be bracket 1. Bracket 2 already set: Florida, Virginia, TCU, and Oral Roberts, the aforementioned team that won the Eugene Regional. So Oral Roberts takes that, and that is bracket 2. So we will see what happens there. But this Friday, the 16th, is the first game of the College World Series. So that is where we are at. So yeah, that's where we are with that. Pardon me. But yeah, Friday will be a huge day. So yeah, Rose Zhang, by the way, transitioning here. This is awesome. She so USC won the women's team championship. I misspoke, not Stanford, USC, but Rose Zhang claimed the individual won the individual championship. And then the next weekend, like at 20 years old, congratulations to Rose, because at 20 years old, she goes on and wins her first wins the tournament. And she goes on to win her first tournament in a playoff nonetheless, which is awesome. But nonetheless, Rose Jane goes on to win it. And like I said, I mean, at 20 years old, that's just absolutely insane. And nonetheless, like I said, in a playoff, and I mean, she set very several scoring records. She shot a 12 under to win the tournament. Sorry, that's what I was trying to dig through the notes on, because I knew I had it and I don't want to misspeak, because I was going to say it was 9 under, but no, she shot 12 under to take the individual title. And man, I mean, you just look at it and and 7 shots better than Beth Coulter of ASU. And you look at, USC, like I said, won the team title at 15 under in women's golf earlier. And I know I talked about this a few weeks ago. Oregon was 8 under, Stanford 7 under. Those were the only 3 teams under par. Arizona was +1. Arizona State was 7 over. And then you had Cal at 12 over, Oregon State at 15 over, UCLA at 17 over, Washington at 24 over, Washington State at 29 over, and then Colorado at 33 over. So, but yeah, Stanford, Oregon, and USC all under par and USC going 15 under, but Zhang herself going 12 under, helping her team get to a 7 under mark, which is, you think, phenomenal. But USC just played out of their minds. But I mean, well, as out of their minds, but I'm just saying, like, they consistently did it all year. So that's again Rose Zhang. But again, to go into your first PGA tournament whirlwind, you win the individual title, your team takes third, and then you're in a tournament the next weekend and you win it in a playoff. I mean, that's just crazy to me, to say the least. And then Florida won the 2023 Division I Outdoor Track and Field National Championship. Florida won it. ASU, though, did have a solid representation out at the track championships, and had PRs, teams place well. Yeah, for ASU, four-time NCAA champion Turner Washington earned his 8th All-American honor after finishing runner-up in the men's shot put, and both the 4x100 and 4x400 squads shattered the program records. The 4x100 38.67, and the 4x400 259.14. And all three 400 men runners ran personal best times to punch their tickets to the finals. The women's team doing well too. But yeah, it's Turner Washington, 21.04 meters in the shot put, which is 69 feet and a half inch. And he took second, got the silver medal. So, I mean, that's just obviously a hell of a career for Turner Washington, just dominant as he's been. Yeah, on the men's side, so Florida won the national title. They had 57 total points. Arkansas finished second with 53. Stanford finished third with 44. LSU fourth with 43, and then Arizona State fifth with 41 points. So SEC had 3, and Pac-12 had 2 in the top 5 there. And then on the women's side, the Lady Longhorns of Texas, they had 83 points. They ran, literally, pun intended, but they ran away with this 83 points for Texas. Florida came in second, but they had 51 points. Arkansas third with 46. Oregon fourth with 44. Then rounding out the top 5, Texas A&M had 36 points. And they finished 5th on the women's side. So utter domination from Texas, as like I said, they cleaned house, winning the women's national title. So congratulations to Lady Longhorns, and then the Gators on the men's side, just holding off conference rivals Arkansas by 4. And then, like I said, Stanford had 44. They got third, the bronze, and then holding off LSU by 1 point, 43, and then ASU had 41. So 3, 4, and 5 just cluttered right there. And then, Texas Tech on the men's side finished 6th, Georgia 7th, Alabama 8th, Washington, the Huskies 9th, BYU 10th. And then on the women's side, Kentucky was 6th, LSU was 7th, Nebraska 8th, Harvard 9th, and Georgia was 10th. So that wraps up the track championships this season. But yeah, I mean, again, men's baseball, man, just still got to lock up 2 spots. Like I said, either Southern Miss and Tennessee will get the spot, and then Stanford and Texas both play tonight. Series tied at 1 apiece, and we will see what happens there with the Cardinal and the Longhorns and the Volunteers. And what is Southern Mississippi's mascot? Is it the Hawks? That's going to bother me. I know this one too. I used to have a hat, actually. I did. And I can't. Oh, the Golden Eagles. Dang it. Yes, the Golden Eagles, the Southern Mississippi Golden Eagles. They are taking on Tennessee and Stanford and Texas. So 2 more teams, the final 2 teams punching their ticket to the College World Series, which, remember, fans, gets started on Friday at the 16th will be the first game. So whoever wins today, Stanford will have a nice little trip to Omaha. I'm sure they'll probably leave on Wednesday, I'm guessing. And I mean, if Texas is going, then I mean, I'm sure all teams will probably arrive there Wednesday. I just don't see it being tomorrow, obviously. So Wednesday, and go from there. So it'll be a short turnaround for whoever wins these games tonight. And yeah, but again, to overstate the obvious, whoever wins is not going to be complaining that they have a short turnaround to take a trip to Omaha for the College World Series. So yes, we will go from there. But that is going to do it for me, man, on Pac-12 preview. Again, apologies for last week. I know. Needed to tweet it on Friday. Actually, I had a tweet on Friday, and then it was in my drafts. Nonetheless, no excuses. Rule 72, play like a champion, right? But yes, so I'll be back Friday again, talking College World Series, and obviously going forward, the state-ish of the Pac-12 and a lot of overreactions, and people want to overreact, and we'll see what happens. So nonetheless, I will have that on Friday. Again, same bat time, same bat channel, 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific and Mountain Time here on the Sideline Sports Network. And I will see you tonight, the Sports Arena, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific and Mountain Time, as we get set for, see if we're going to have an NBA champion tonight, see if John's okay. But yeah, you can check us out on the No Filter Network there. So yeah, we'll be back 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific with the Sports Arena, and it'll be interesting how it goes down. So I'm going to get out of here. Again, I will see you Friday. Again, enjoy your Monday. Again, check out Stanford, Texas, Tennessee, and Southern Miss. They start first, so check that out. Check out Stanford, Texas. And, yeah, have a little conversation with it on Friday, as well as the College World Series kicking off and the state of the Pac-12. So everybody have a great Monday. I will see you Friday. And as always, yes, you guys know what's coming. As always, forks up.